The iPhone 17 Pro Max is here, packing a variety of upgrades from the camera to the design. But how does it compare to its predecessor, the iPhone 16 Pro Max? Well, to find out, let's take a close look at the specs. And welcome to All Things Mobile. These phones do have a lot in common, especially their gargantuan size, but Apple has made some key improvements that should make the iPhone 17 Pro Max an absolute powerhouse. But do keep in mind that the specs don't tell the whole story, so make sure to keep your eye on CNET's full iPhone 17 coverage for a lot more information. Okay, so let's start with the physical stuff. Both phones are, well, huge, with 6.9-inch displays that will be equally difficult to wrap your hands around. And both phones still use Apple's Super Retina XDR panels, so we don't really expect to see any noticeable difference in the image quality on the screen. Both phones will continue to have the cutout for the dynamic island at the top. The 17 Pro Max has seen some pretty significant changes to the design though. The camera bar now stretches all the way across the width of the phone on the back, and it's now made from aluminium instead of titanium. Apple says this helps dissipate heat 20 times better than the titanium on the previous model, and that's helped too by a new vapor chamber inside the phone which uses deionized water to try and actively cool the phone while in use. And despite all that, the 17 Pro Max is only 4 grams heavier than the previous iPhone 16 Pro Max. Will you ever notice 4 grams difference? Almost certainly not. Well, not unless you're NASA looking to take one of these into space and every gram matters. In which case, hey guys, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. And I guess it's not really a specification of the phone, but I really wanted to call out the new cosmic orange color. Love it or hate it, it's certainly a vibrant option, and personally, I love to see a little bit more fun and life injected back into our phones. Definitely makes a change from the usual silver, grey or black options. Don't want an orange phone? Fine. It comes in blue and it comes in silver. The 17 Pro Max has Apple's Ceramic Shield 2 on both the front and the back of the phone. Now, Apple says that this is 3 times more scratch resistant than the previous model, which is great if you tend to keep your phone in your pocket without a case in amongst your keys and spare change, or if you tend to keep your phone in your pocket with a lot of loose gravel for some reason. But if you do that, a few scratches on your phone is probably the least of your problems. Both phones are also IP68 Water resistant, which will help keep them safe from spilled drinks or if you're taking calls in the pouring rain. Otherwise, the physical dimensions of each phone are pretty much the same. Okay, so how about the processor and the storage? Well, the 17 Pro Max uses Apple's latest A19 Pro chip, which the company reckons is significantly faster, especially when it comes to graphically intense tasks like playing console-quality games, while its new neural accelerators are designed to help with AI tasks. The A18 Pro chip in the iPhone 16 Pro Max was already something of a powerhouse, so I'm really looking forward to seeing how these two phones actually compare when it comes to benchmarks and in everyday use. While both phones have a base capacity of 256GB, the 17 Pro Max can now be spec'd up to have a whopping 2 terabytes of storage. You'll pay handsomely for the privilege, of course, but if you plan on shooting a lot of ProRes RAW video, then that extra storage space might come in handy. Speaking of ProRes, let's talk cameras. Both phones pack the usual trio of standard zoom, ultra-wide and telephoto, but the 17 Pro Max does make some key upgrades. Most notably in the telephoto zoom, which now offers optical zoom up to 8 times, which is a significant step up over the 5 times zoom seen on the iPhone 16 Pro Max. Its sensor is physically larger as well, while the resolution has gone from a meager 12 megapixels on the 16 Pro Max up to a full 48 megapixels on the 17 Pro Max. Nice. All 3 rear cameras in fact are now 48 megapixels, although there are fewer hardware differences on the rest of the cameras. The 17 Pro Max does have some upgraded video skills though. It can now shoot in ProRes RAW, which captures unprocessed footage without any kind of software adjustments like sharpening. This gives much greater flexibility for using that footage in post-production, and that will make these phones even more appealing for professional workflows. ProRes RAW isn't on the 16 Pro Max, so presumably it's a demanding enough task that it requires that extra processing power from the new A19 Pro chip. The 17 Pro Max also supports dual capture, which lets you film video using the front and rear cameras at the same time, just in case that's something you've ever wanted to do. Both phones will shoot 4K video at up to 120 frames per second, and if you want to slow things down even more, they'll both do 240 frames per second at 1080. The front selfie camera, or center stage as Apple now calls it, has seen a boost up to 18 megapixels on the 17 Pro Max, along with a new sensor design that allows it to crop in horizontally or vertically and provides better digital stabilization in video. So, batteries. Apple doesn't give specific battery specs when it launches its phones, but it has said that the 17 Pro Max has the largest battery ever inside an iPhone, so we know that it's bigger than the one in the 16 Pro Max. And that makes sense because Apple reckons you'll get an additional 4 hours of video playback on the new model. How they actually fare in real-world use remains to be seen. Apple also says that the 17 Pro Max will charge faster, with its 40-watt wired charging speed taking it from empty to 50% full in just 20 minutes, which is a significant boost over the 35 minutes it would take the 16 Pro Max to do the same thing. So those are some of the key differences and similarities between the new iPhone 17 Pro Max and last year's 16 Pro Max. If you're already using an iPhone 16 Pro Max, then these updates won't feel huge, and so you definitely shouldn't consider upgrading. But those of you on much older handsets will almost certainly see the benefits, especially in the camera and the processor performance. And yeah, you can now have a bright orange iPhone, so that's something. If you're interested in the latest iPhone 17, then make sure to keep your eyes on CNET for a lot more information.